welcome to the Patient Educators Update, where we talk about patient education in a clinical environment. I'm Chuck Jones with Synergy Broadcast, and I want to welcome our guest today, Helen Osborne. Hi, Helen.
Hi, Chuck.
Helen Osborne is the founder and president of Health Literacy Consulting based in Natick, Massachusetts, and she's also the host and producer of her own podcast series, Health Literacy Out Loud. But the primary reason we have Helen on the show today is because she's also the founder of Health Literacy Month. That's a worldwide campaign to raise awareness about the importance of understandable health information. Now, in addition to all of that, Helen is recognized as a health literacy expert because she brings clinical experience, educational training, and patient perspective to all of her work. And she's also an award-winning author. She wrote the book Health Literacy from A to Z, Practical Ways to Communicate Your Health Message. And this book is considered by many as the most important health literacy reference today. So, Helen, welcome and thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Now, you founded the what has become a worldwide movement, National Health Literacy Month, back in 1999. So I would like for you to tell our viewers what triggered the original idea and a little bit about the history of Health Literacy Month.
Well, actually, the idea goes back even to 1998. I remember the day, April 6th. It so happens it was my son's birthday. Okay. But I was beginning my health literacy consulting business at that point. Health literacy was a very, very new concept. And I could just tell that people weren't really aware that there was a problem. Clinicians everywhere were not aware there was a problem. And I was spending so much time raising awareness about why people struggle to understand. It was taking up a lot of my time. So at that time, I was on a listserv for health literacy. Actually, it's still fairly active. And I posted something and I just sent an email basically saying, Health Literacy Month, how does that sound? And I actually expected no response or people to say like, who are you? Why are you doing this? And to my surprise, I got about 50 responses right away. And basically the gist of them said, great idea. What are you going to do? And so began Health Literacy Month. It really started on a whim. I had no idea how big it was going to get.
That's interesting. Well, give us a little bit about of perspective of how it's progressed over the years.
Oh my goodness. So this is basically an unfunded, all-volunteer effort. I am the consistent force behind it. Often I'm the only one kind of behind the scenes like the Wizard of Oz. So it's gone from raising awareness. First, we had a little website with shared information we put up, and then it became bigger and bigger, and we have an image and a logo, and we've gotten better taglines along the way. It's gone from raising awareness to focusing on advocacy. And from advocacy, as lately I've been focusing really on encouraging people to take action. Mm-hmm. It's a grassroots movement, meaning that people can do whatever they want, wherever they are in the world. There's no one right way to do Health Literacy Month, and you don't need any permission. Just let's go forth and do it collectively, raising a louder voice about why health literacy matters.
Oh, that's really a great story about how, and grassroots efforts are always the best, because people work on those because they care.
Well, what I really like about it is that every individual, every group, every organization worldwide promotes health literacy in ways that matter to their community mm-hmm. and to their audience. There is a tremendous range since there is no right way or wrong way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. It's a huge problem. Well, tell me a little bit about some of the resources that you make available to folks.
Well, again, because it's unfunded, there's not an abundance of things, mm-hmm. but I'm very, very happy to share if people email me. Mm-hmm. I'm very generous in sharing the official Health Literacy Month logo that people can use. And we also have this great image of a health literacy hero. That's our theme for this year. It's all about taking action. So those are available. Just email me at Helen at healthliteracy.com. I also have a handbook that I wrote a few years ago. I'm looking at it right now. Let's see, Health Literacy Month Handbook, the event planning guide for health literacy advocate. That's available for a very small fee as a PDF. And I also have a series of 4 checklists called Countdown to Health Literacy Month that people can be using. So tools and strategies they can put into place in their own way. And there's a Health Literacy Month website, healthliteracymonth.org.
Great. Now, if somebody's watching this right now and they say, well, I want to get involved, do you have any tips or ideas or recommendations on how they can get started?
Sure. Figure out who your audience is. Why are you doing this? Figure out your goals, who your audience, what are your measures of success? What do you hope that will happen as a result of your event? Mm-hmm. And then dream big. I really think that it's time to be free and creative in the biggest possible way of, if you could do anything, what would you do to accomplish those goals? And then you and the planning committee, then you can scale back perhaps to ways to make it more manageable this year.
Yeah.
So it's dreaming big. You can never capture that big free spirit unless you start there and then scale it back.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if you've seen some of these videos that some hospitals have done for breast cancer awareness and some others where they do music videos and they get hospital employees to dance. Those things tend to go viral on YouTube.
There's an amazing way, and I'm hearing all kinds of stories. There's one really exceptionally neat story I'm hearing that's going to happen for Health Literacy Month this year, 2013, and Health Literacy Month is October. So, as I said, our theme is Be a Health Literacy Hero, and it's all about taking action. I heard about a children's hospital in Missouri that is actually having their Health Literacy Month event on October 31st. They're going to be having the staff wearing capes saying HL on the back, like health literacy, or they'll be wearing t-shirts with the Health Literacy Hero logo on it. And they're inviting their patients who are children to come dressed up in their superhero costumes. So I never would have put all that together. I thought, what a great way to be promoting health literacy that's really important and relevant to that specific audience.
Yeah, it really is. A thought just occurred to me, and you may already be doing this, but one of the ways that people can kind of consolidate thoughts on the internet, whether it's Twitter or any other social network, is using hashtags. That's where you have the pound sign and then a word or a phrase. So I don't know if you've experimented with using hashtag for Health Literacy Month or Health Literacy Hero, but that would be a good way when people do something, if they put it on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, if they use the hashtag Health Literacy Month or Health Literacy Hero, that might be a great way to consolidate a lot of the information, and there may be more going on than you know.
Oh, that's a great idea. I'm not a huge Twitter user. I know there's a hashtag HealthLit. I know that one of Facebook or one of those things or Twitter, I'm at Health Lit Month. But to do the hashtag, that's a great idea because you're right. There is so much going on. I have no idea of it all.
Yeah, and they can use that as a search term in Google and probably collect all kinds of information.
Great.
That's cool. Now, in addition to Health Literacy Month, you devote your professional efforts towards health literacy. I mean, it's a big deal for you because now it's your business, and it has been for some time. Tell us a little bit about why you went in that direction and a little bit about the services that you offer.
Well, I've had my own business, health literacy consulting, I think since about 1996. And my background is I'm an occupational therapist. I was always working in psychiatry, and I also have a degree in education. In 1995, I read my first ever article. It was in JAMA, Journal of the American Medical Association. It was by Williams et al., the article, and it was about something called health literacy. Never had heard of it before. And basically the article said that more than half of the adults in this country struggle to understand written health information. I looked at my patients in one of the most diverse parts of, coming from the most diverse parts of Boston. I looked at my handouts and like, clunk. Of course, just because I wrote it doesn't mean people understand.
Right.
So that started me on my journey. In all these years later, I do a wide range of efforts, all singularly focused on health literacy, and I long ago left my clinical practice. I speak about, and do trainings about health literacy across the country and indeed around the world. I was recently speaking in Mumbai, India, actually, on health literacy. I also do a lot of plain language writing and editing. So I can do the coaching and consulting too. So if organizations are doing something about health literacy but want to be doing more, or leaders want to be getting on board, I can help them get to that next level too.
Excellent, excellent. And we'll put contact information in the show notes and also in the video for folks to be able to know how to get a hold of you.
Great, that's healthliteracy.com is the website. That is a lot more information about my work and background and also my podcasts. I don't know if I can just mention those, like you do this audio video interview series. I have a primarily audio interview series. I'm in my 6th year now, and it's called Health Literacy Out Loud. And those are interviews with those in the know about health literacy. And those audio interviews and the written transcripts are available for free at healthliteracyoutloud, either .org or .com.
Yeah, and I would point out I've been a subscriber to your podcast and listened to quite a few of them, and they're quite good. I've learned a lot.
Good, great.
Now, I want to talk about a personal experience that you had. You wrote an article about this back in 2011 where you had a shoulder problem of some sort, and you wound up as the patient in search of some meaningful education, and you had a struggle finding it. Can you tell us about that?
Oh my goodness. I think we all have stories. So this story is my shoulder hurt a lot, kept hurting a lot, and I got eventually referred to this doctor. He was actually, someone just said, you need to see the shoulder guy. So I go see the shoulder guy. I didn't know that he was a surgeon. I didn't know I needed surgery. So in a 10-minute appointment, I'm meeting with this doctor who happens to have a very, very heavy German accent. I could barely understand what he was saying. And I didn't expect that he was a surgeon or that I'd need an operation. And in that short time, he's telling me my diagnosis. He gives it to me as an acronym. And he tells me I need surgery. And maybe because I'm an occupational therapist, he starts describing my problems in medical terms like the supraspinatus and all this detailed stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's my shoulder. I worked in psychiatry, and I didn't know I needed surgery. I didn't get it at all.
Yeah.
The most information he gave me is he wrote on the back of his little tiny business card, the regular old size business card, he wrote the acronym for my condition. I had left with no information. And so I happened to be speaking to somebody at ME Solutions. She's someone I've interviewed before. I know her, and I just happened to say, I just found out I need shoulder surgery, and I don't even know what's wrong with me. And then I went to Dr. Google, and my friend at ME Solutions said, oh, we have a video on shoulder surgery. And she sent it to me, and ta-da! I learned more about my problem. I learned really I did need surgery. I learned what would happen. The end of the story, I had the surgery, and yay, I can move my shoulder.
Excellent.
So good story at the end, but the clinician was not helpful, except he's a good surgeon.
Yeah, and that's a story that we hear over and over, and you know, your efforts against improving health literacy out there, and other folks that are working to make sure that information is simplified and made understandable for us common folk. It really hits home when someone from the medical profession also has trouble with the same thing. So that's really important. So thanks for sharing that.
Well, I think we're all common folk when we're the one in the hospital gown.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Yeah, well, we're at the end of our time right now. I really want to thank you so much for your time today. why don't you tell folks some of the best places to reach you online?
Well, probably the websites are a good place to start. Health Literacy Consulting, which is the most comprehensive website I have about my work and background, and it has tips. And I was a columnist for years, as all my articles. It's www.healthliteracy.com.
Okay.
You can also, and I hope you will, go to the podcast series, healthliteracyOutloud.com or .org, and healthliteracymonth.org is a third option. For both Health Literacy Out Loud and healthliteracy.com, they both have, you can subscribe. So subscribe for free, get on the newsletters, hear about all the latest podcasts, get all the latest news. There's lots of ways to stay up to date with health literacy. And in addition, you're welcome to email me at helen@healthliteracy.com.
Great. Now, I'd also point out that I mentioned earlier that you have a book, and it's still available on Amazon
Sure is.
in printed form and ebook for e-readers, so folks can go there and download your book. And the title again is Health Literacy from A to Z, Practical Ways to Communicate Your Health Message. That's still out there.
And it's the second edition, too.
Oh, excellent,
It's
excellent.
widely used as a text and a reference.
Yeah, terrific. Well, thank you very much. And for those folks out there that are interested in adding video and video on demand to their hospital, you can visit our website at synergybroadcast.com for more information. So as always, we thank everyone for listening. Helen, thank you so much for your time today. And
Thanks
we want folks to go out there and celebrate health literacy and do what you can to make it simple for everybody. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.